Hey guys, it's me, Jeremy. Yeah, I'm still in my work clothes. Been a long day. A couple days ago, I went to Conrad's tire up by me. Wanted to get an alignment and new tires. So what I found out was my rack and pinion's leaking. I have holes in both rack and pinion boots, bellow boots. And then the tie rod ends are shot. So, they said, well, we can do an alignment. It's not going to be very worth it. And new tires aren't going to be worth it. They're going to wear out just as fast as these did. Like, all right, fine. So, I went and got an estimate, and they wanted $1,200 to do it, and then $700 for tires. So, I was like, no, I'll do it myself. So, needless to say, I got everything I need. I'm going to show you guys what you guys are going to need to do something that I'm doing, which is the inner tie rods, outer tie rods, and rack and pinion boot bellows. Alright, so as we start off, I'm going to get showing here with my 3/8 air ratchet. This will work great once you break the nuts loose. You could just run them right off with that, or tighten things up with this. Then we've got my Aircat 1150. Been through the ringer. Definitely been used. This is going to be to get my tire off, and then to get the inner tie rod off. I'm probably going to use this 90% of the time, actually. I'm going to break some bolts loose with this. So, we got those two set aside. You're going to need this, a pickle fork. I don't know why it's called pickle fork, I guess, but what you do is you just get it right up on that inner tie rod, and you hit the end of that, and then you bust it right up. I'm going to use that to get the outer tie rod off. And then we're going to go here. You can use, when you put the new bellow boots on, it's going to need to be clamped in two places. If you're like me, I've got tremendous amounts of clamps, so I'm just going to use that. You can use zip ties, it says, but I prefer just using clamps and cutting the excess stuff off. Next, we're going to go to a torque wrench. So a torque wrench be used to help tighten my wheels down when it's done, and just to tighten everything to spec. And then we have the breaker bar. This is going to come in handy breaking a couple things loose for me. This as well has been through the ringer. Down here, I actually worked on a Volkswagen Beetle and do brakes on that for my cousin. That was a pain. If you guys know what I'm talking about, it was the rear brakes. Could not get the rotor off without taking the caliper bracket off, which is a M14 bolt, which is a Torx bit. That was a problem because they had never been touched. Had to do that. Ended up using pipe wrenches. And I used that big boy to take it off with another attached to it. So, yeah. Loctite. If your tie rod ends for some reason don't come with Loctite, use some Loctite. I mean, inner tie rods, my bad. If they don't come with Loctite, mine did. So, I really don't need that. But, if you did, I'm just using this so I know where I put all my bolts in case something happens, traumatic, whatever, and I have to reuse a castle nut. But mine are pretty rusted. We're gonna need some needle nose pliers to break that cotter pin that's in there. We need to get the cotter pin out. So these will come in handy for that, and it'll also come in handy with taking out the one clamp I have and breaking the other stuff loose because it is also cutter. It's like a cutter. So then you'll just need some socket adapters, extensions, whatever. You'll need probably a screwdriver to help break some stuff loose, get in there. This one, as you guys can probably see, is curved at the end. We use this when putting the belt on my tractor. and it just bent. So then we're gonna go to my torque adapter, digital torque adapter by AC Delco. This is when the tie rods get tightened to 27 foot-pounds or 35 foot-pounds, something that my big torque wrench cannot do. My big torque, yeah. Then we've got these over here, which are the bellow boots. They come with zip ties in them. You can hear them rattling around. I'm using Moog from Summit Racing. Got all this, these, because these are being painted to keep from rust, because I live in the Rust Belt. So, helps with that. I got all this done for a cool $400 plus tools. Yeah. So now we go over to this big boy. This is the fun. This is where I start to have some fun. So it's like opening a gun case or something. So we've got this big old rod. We get the size that it needs, which mine's a 7/16, 1 7/16. That's why it's in there, just so I don't forget which one it is and go through the pain of trying to figure out every one of them. So use that. And if you have a different size adapter, you can use that. I just prefer to keep what I need in what I need. Then, so now that that's out of the way, I can scoot that over. I'm just gonna have this little battery impact, 20 volt. That's just to help with the ease of things. I like the way it sounds. Spare battery, the charger is in the bag. Oh, excuse me, I had something in my eye. Still do. Piece of dirt. Okay. Socket set. You're gonna need it. I have other tools at the place I'm doing it. Right now I'm kind of just going through some air impact tools, sockets that I'm gonna need. My truck lug nut, I believe, is a 21, which I have in my bucket. Or 22. It's pretty big. It's not an 18, I know that, but an 18 is the size of the castle nut that I'm going to be taking off. So, put that to the side. I'm going to use some axle grease, multi-purpose grease. Just going to end up using it. And then we have the big boy. Big 40-pound sledgehammer. Doesn't feel 40 pounds, but you never know. This will pack a big punch. So when I need to hammer this onto the inner tie rod, or when I need this pickle fork to work, or even if I can't get the pickle fork to work and just beat the living daylights out of the bottom of the tie rod, that's what I'll use. We're gonna have the Rust-Oleum spray paint, the gloss protective enamel, and then the Rust-Oleum acrylic enamel. 2 times the paint coverage, and it is paint and primer. Gloss black. That is what I painted those with. You don't have to if you don't live in the Rust Belt, but since I do, it recommends to just paint them. Then we get to our additives. This, some old fluid, removes rust, displaces moisture, prevents metal, helps start wet engines, fast acting, efficient, and economical. This is just going to help. A lot of these are just to help get these bolts loose. The liquid torch penetration, WD-40 Specialist Degreaser is what I'm going to use when I'm done with everything, my rack and pinion is all covered up in power steering fluid because the boot's torn, and then some normal WD-40 penetration and some power steering fluid. You want to make sure it's right to your vehicle. Most of them usually are. So it's my little TED talk for today. I'm going to show you guys the before and after. It'll be on my, it's already up, the before. The after I'll post when I get it done, get it aligned, and get it the new tires. And then I'll show you guys, I'll put it up in the air on a jack, and I'll show you guys what it's going to look like. While I'm down there, I might paint the knuckle, or not knuckle, the lower control arm. I don't know. I think I need a ball joint too, but a ball joint press is like $90, and a ball joint's like 140, or no, 60. So it's 140 in total or so. I might just have the shop do it for 300. I don't know. I don't feel comfortable doing ball joints personally. I know there's a Chris Fix video on how to do it. I don't care. I'm not gonna do it. But yeah, I think that's about it. It's gonna be interesting. And I need to do back shocks too. I have the back shocks in my truck. I didn't bring those in here because I don't see the point in bringing it in here. I didn't see the point of bringing anything really in here besides the stuff I needed to paint. So I really don't have any other parts in here. The only reason the bellow boots are in here is because I bought them earlier in the day, and everything I had bought, those were in the bag. They were in the bag when I got the tie rod ends and the tie rods. So it is what it is. I'm gonna need some hydraulic jack oil for my jack because it's pretty low. Air impact oil, and just really about it. So thank you guys. I'll keep you guys apprised, show you guys what's going on with the truck. You might see a video or two on me doing it, depending on how easy it is or how hard it is. You guys will see a video either way with this and then the before and after combined. So thanks for watching. God bless.